show it, and I don't think maybe there'd be a lot of people who are mad at that, but that could be the ending of Dragon Ball Super is the next tournament 10 years after the time skip or 10 years after this point. So we have a lot of time left, and Goku and Vegeta are still in their prime, and we've been exploring Goku training and kind of adapting into a more mature person that we see at the end of Z and everything else like that. I think that'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, I would like it if they show the new tournament and then Goku ends up losing it, but then he finally concedes that it's time for him to retire, and that would be the true good ending to Dragon Ball, is when he says, "I'm gonna keep training, but this whole tournament stuff, I'm gonna retire." Uncharacteristic of Goku as of right now, but something for later on when he's older, I think could work out. You know what I mean? He becomes Roshi, pretty much.
I completely agree. Actually, that's great.
That's it. There you go. Anyways, folks, check out Real to Real. I don't have to tell you twice. I'll leave a link in the comments. I should surely hope you would check him out. And thank you for being here.
Yeah, no worries, man. Thanks for having me.
And remember to give us your ideas too in the comments. Thank you. We'll talk to you down the road.
Looks like I can't get no satisfaction. Hey guys, Masako X here. We are well into the Universe Survival Arc's endgame, which is just that, a game. A survival game which is far bigger in scope than the likes of Battle Royale and the Hunger Games, and with much less teenage angst. Judging by how slow time has been progressing throughout the episodes that we've seen so far, it is quite obvious that we're going to get at least 10 episodes in this actual arc. Maybe even 20 that just concern the Tournament of Power. Or at least until we can actually get a conclusion towards this arc or transition into a sub-arc. If we are going to be getting a new arc, we will be getting leaks concerning the matter about a couple of months beforehand, or maybe just before it happens, because Dragon Ball Super's team have been quite keen to make sure that spoilers don't get out as early as they have done. I mean, at least 3 months early, or maybe 5 months in the case of Kale. It all depends on how successfully the Universe Survival arc is going, and judging from the ratings, it's going pretty well. Now, call me ungrateful for wanting something new when we've got a perfectly good arc going on right now, but it's still interesting to speculate based on the evidence that we have so far what the next story in Dragon Ball Super could be. In fact, we should be actually praising the fact that there is more story to explore instead of ending this series right after this story. Because as we know, this whole scenario is probably one of the biggest plot devices that you could use in terms of gravitas, scope, peril, universal destruction. That's a biggie! We see the Omni Kings act out on their threat and destroy Universe 9, so we know that's not a bluff. Oh, that shot of Rose screaming its head off will give me strength in the future, I just know it. But where do you go from universal destruction? Do you introduce a new, higher demon to actually outrank the Omni King? This being Toriyama, you can't throw that possibility out of the window. He does like to subvert conventional thinking, so really, anything is possible. So I mean, you're probably saying, what's the point of second guessing? I mean, you're right, there is very little point. But it is a little bit of fun, so why not? Based on what we can gather in the current arc, we can begin to surmise the ideas that could happen in Dragon Ball Super going forward, especially when it comes to its more important narrative. I think there are 2 possible scenarios, so it's time for a little bit of what-ifery here. Only instead of looking to the past, we are looking to the future. First off, let's talk about the most traditional continuation, something that is very likely to occur in Dragon Ball, more so when you take modern trends into account. In my 5 ways the Universe Survival arc could end video, I talked about 5 different scenarios that could wrap up the entire arc. I suggest you take a look at that video after you're done here, it's actually one of my favorites. One of these scenarios was titled The Not So Boring One. What do I mean by that? Well, let me tell you. In that scenario, Universe 7 indeed wins the Tournament of Power, Goku is deemed the best fighter, and so therefore, he gets his wish on the Super Dragon Balls as his prize. I would imagine at this point Goku would feel either remorseful towards all the universes that were destroyed, or he would be bullied into submission by his colleagues to actually get on with doing the best thing and the right thing, and bring everyone back. You might think that the Omni Kings would object to this, and if Goku were to actually bring every single universe back to existence, that the Omni Kings would just destroy them again, out of a sort of childish impertinence, but you know what? I actually think they would allow it. Why is that, you ask? Well, I think that at this point, they've had their fill of fantastic fighting and special visuals. They are absolutely excited and thrilled and jubilant right now. They're in a good mood. Plus it's Goku. They absolutely adore Goku. And when it looked like Goku could be knocked out of the tournament early, The Omni Kings were visibly upset by this. They didn't want to see their best friend go out so soon. I mean, granted, this could be down to the fact that, oh, Goku could have been exciting, or it could have been down to the fact that they actually like Goku, and they didn't want the thought of Universe 7 being destroyed this soon. No other fighter has had that much sentiment bestowed upon them. So if Goku were to make the wish, I think that there would be a strong possibility, nay probability, that the Omni Kings would roll with Goku's decision. So, the Super Dragon Balls are summoned, and Whis makes the wish on Goku's behalf, because Goku obviously doesn't speak the language of Super Shenron, and the wish could actually now be made. Knowing how precocious the angels can be, I'm looking at you, Vardos, I reckon that Whis will take Goku's statement literally. All the universes that Zeno destroyed would actually be revived, not just the ones in the Tournament of Power. That means that the 6 universes that Zeno destroyed all those years ago would actually now be restored. Might there have been a reason to their destruction? Might there be a reason as to why they're not around anymore? Was this a good cause or just an impulse? The Grand Priest said that these universes were destroyed because the Omni King simply felt like it. This might be true, but I think there might be more to this, something that the Grand Priest doesn't wish to share. There might be a big bad in those universes. What this big bad might be, I'm not quite sure as of yet. Either way, this villain might be just as strong, if not stronger, than the Omni Kings, so there's a good reason as to why they would actually want to keep this being locked away. I would imagine that if Whis was delivering this wish, he would be a little nervous at first, but he wouldn't want to actually disappoint Beerus because that's what his job is, and Goku said the words, not him. He would still carry it out. Yeah, and then just let the mortals and the other gods just deal with it. The angels, I'm washing my hands of this. I mean, one thing's for sure, the angels will be able to sense this sinister power. Sounds dire, right? But remember, every single universe has been brought back to life, so that means all the fighters from the Tournament of Power are now back in play. Having realized that they've been brought back to life, they then discover it was Goku that made the wish for them to return. This could be a good way to absolve any manifestation of hatred towards the character, so that means that whole chestnut is then just tucked away and never to be brought up again. This means that this won't cause any issues going forward, especially if we wish to visit any other universes in the future. So that means we haven't got that little grudge going on in the background. Also, I want the prospect of Gohan going to Universe 11, meeting up with the Pride Troopers, and doing posing with them. It's just too good an opportunity to pass up. Now, on Goku's side, he's now got some allies, and they will be happy to help Goku track this big bad down, and he's going around all the other universes. Why do I think this might be a good idea? Well, it's all down to the elongation of a good thing. The Universe Survival Arc has been quite clearly one of the biggest shots in the arm for the entire franchise, much more so than the Future Trunks arc. Yeah, that arc was the catalyst to actually instigate interest in the property, but the Universe Survival Arc has been the one to actually sustain it. A new animation style, a new feel, plus a new cast of characters, it is quite clear that Toei, Toriyama and Shueisha are making a statement. They wish that this show has good fortune and for it to continue for a very long time. By introducing a big bad that could still threaten the universes after the tournament has ended, including the universes that were actually exempt from the tournament, this could actually make the Universe Survival Arc take on a whole new meaning. It would be a whole new story, but the Universe Survival Arc moniker could still be legitimate. This could be a really long arc like back in the days of Z, maybe 50 plus episodes. I mean, any chances to rekindle any nostalgic tendencies in all the fans out there is a good thing for Toei and Shueisha to manifest. We need those nostalgia dollars. Whatever happens, I want there to be a scene where Goku and Toppo reconcile their differences. It would be so cool. And yes, I know the whole bringing all the universes back goes against my desire for Consequence to be a thing in Dragon Ball Super, but come on, this idea is a pretty good one. And also, it kind of doesn't go against my feelings, because it brings on a whole other thing. Be careful what you wish for. The whole monkey paw effect, that's now a thing. Goku was just like saying, bring them all back. He was too reckless with his